screen. Don't touch the stove. What are you thinking, sweetie? What is it? You want some more treats? Hmm? Just thinking there, girl. You want to go down? Let's go down. See how the pine trees out here, the ones that I've accentuated with cutting back all the junipers and the brush. And we'll notice it too as we go down the trail. There's a lot more trees that I've downed, the juniper trees, as of the past week, I would say. Probably cut down at least 20 more of the big ones. And as a result of it, we've got pine trees all over the place. So let's check this out. See over here, I've gone through and you can see a lot more of the pine trees that are in this area all through here. I've still got like that juniper right there to take out, and then I do want to eventually take out this one right here. That'll be a ton of great firewood, but then we'll cut it all up in sections so it can season well. We'll stack it and just wait for like a year or two for it to really dry out. But just opening up all these pine trees, because the junipers, I'm allergic to the pollen, and in the springtime when those start to bloom, it's crazy. It looks like there's smoke going through the air. There's so much pollen, so that's why I want to get rid of it. And plus, too, it opens up the views around here. My buddy Chad came over here the other day. Yeah, actually yesterday. He's like, "Man, you have so much more views as compared to what you had before, because I got rid of all those juniper trees." All right, pumpkin, ready to go? Healthy too, and you know, you can see the ones up there, they're dropping pine cones and stuff like that, so I just love seeing that. Alright, looks like we're getting some kind of a little bit of a snow slash ice mixture, and it's coming in from that way over there. And if you look over this way, you can really see how it's coming down. So I think the plan is now to go inside and kind of hunker down and make some lunch for Meadow. And then I've got the hot tub going as well. And when it's like this, even if there's wind, it's, you know, you can run the hot tub because everything's wet at the moment. And I'm using some of the reclaimed lumber that I have, like it's some old crate lumber and stuff like that. That's just then like pallet wood, and using that to power the hot tub because all the regular wood is, you know, the trees and stuff like that. It's all wet right now. So what you doing here, little sweetie? You've just been a little punking all morning. You've been such a good girl. You were a little cuddler last night when we had the stove in here, weren't you? Alright, wearing my favorite hat again. I absolutely love this thing. It's really comfortable, and I get lots of compliments on it when I roll around into town and also here on the tube. So it's going to be a mainstay in my life. And what I wanted to do was just mention 3 things. If you're going to be buying a property in northern Arizona, that's my solar kicking on, by the way. If you're going to be buying property in northern Arizona, there's 3 things that I think are really important to work with. Number 1, if you can get up on a hill like I am, what'll happen is, and this doesn't happen everywhere, but it's happened on my property and other properties in the area, is that you're gonna have water drain off of the parcel, you know, for eons. You know, if nobody's ever built on it and no one's ever brought any heavy equipment up here to disturb the land, then what you'll get is you get like a natural graveling process that takes place over time, because all the dirt will start to wash away and it's going to expose the rock that's in the area. And that's what I have on the upper portion of my land here, and that's why this is the space where I want to live, you know, and have, like, build my residence and all those things. Because even during the monsoon season, I can go outside and I can walk around. Let's see, here's this. Cool. Alright, that's better lighting there. So anyway, what I was saying was, is if you can get a parcel that's up on a hill, you know, you're gonna have a natural graveling process that takes place over the eons, just because when it rains and snows and all that stuff, and the water runoff will carry some of that soil away with it, especially in northern Arizona, because our soil is different than other parts of the country due to being volcanic soil. Another thing about being up on a hill, it's nice, is you get good views. So the views around my place are really starting to get pretty exceptional now that I'm removing the Rocky Mountain and Utah junipers from my place. I am keeping some of the old growth junipers because I really like the way they look. The shaggy junipers are cool. I've got 2 in my, you know, it's on the way down to my lower meadow that are just phenomenal. They're really cool looking trees. But the rest of them I'm going to get rid of. I'm going to use that for firewood around here. And that opens up my views and helps the pine trees to get more water. And then also the tall grass in those areas has just exploded. You know, before the tall grass would grow like this tall and it'd just be in these little clumps. Now I'm getting these huge tall grasses. I mean, it's literally like 2 or 3 feet off the ground, and especially during monsoon season, they really grow well. So that's cool. I love having that here. Another thing too is if you get property, don't have it all be north facing. The reason for that, there's a couple reasons for that. Number 1, it's hard to harvest solar on north facing properties, especially if they're really steep. You might have it in the wintertime to where if your property is steep enough and has enough of a decline going down, the sun will actually not even hit your property. And so you don't get to take advantage of passive solar, and then you can't harvest any solar from the sun for your batteries. So you'd have to operate off a generator, or, you know, either a gas generator or a wind generator. And gas generators can be really expensive in the wintertime, and actually any time of the year, and you just don't want to have that expense because you then got to run into town. There's expenses with your own gas to get there. You know, you always got to fill up. You could run out. You could get trapped out here if the rain is going on for too long at one time. You know, the roads are impassable, and you could be stuck without having any power. So that's another thing too, is just get like a south-facing, or at least part of your property, have it as a south-facing slope, because you'll get full sun even in the wintertime, and then you can harvest your solar power. And even build like a, you know, underground greenhouses, because the south-facing slope, you can build it into like a hill, and you could have your panels going like this, or like your translucent, you know, greenhouse going this way, then have that back wall be all brick and have it like a darker style brick that can hold the heat in the wintertime. And so that way when the sun goes down, it's still emanating heat into your greenhouse. So have some south-facing slopes on your property, and that way you won't have any problems with solar. And then the third thing I wanted to mention is, this isn't really so much of a feature of your land, but in my area, I've seen a lot of prices get way overinflated. You know, I'm seeing 2 or 3 acre parcels that are listed online for like 20 grand. That's way too much. And I don't care what sort of amenities they have there, unless they've already installed their solar, their septic, and maybe brought power to the property, then it might be worth it. But I would still say, if you're out here and you're looking for land, a 40 acre parcel should not cost over 40 grand at all. It's about $1,000 an acre. And you know, I've even seen them as low as like 700 an acre, like the actual price that they'll accept. Now they'll ask like 50 or 60 grand for a 40 acre parcel, and unless it has septic installed already or power to the lot line or whatever, or maybe if it's paved all the way there so you don't have to deal with the muddy roads so you have better access, then you know you're going to get a little bit of a premium. But overall, just don't spend over $1,000 per acre. Now in my area, from my land, it's a smaller parcel, so if you go smaller from 40 acres, say you go down to 20 or even like 14 like mine, you're going to pay a little bit more of a premium because the cost per acre is more. I got my land for $20,500. I feel like this was a smoking deal for 2 reasons. Number one, well, 3 reasons. Number one, there's variation to the land, so I've got this area up here, this upper area here that's naturally gravel that I can operate during monsoon season. The lower section where my meadow is, where I've got the check dams and things like that, and where I plan to really slow down the water and recharge the groundwater down there, that is extremely muddy whenever there's water out here because it's a low-lying area and there's no rocks. But I do like that variation in soil. I can go down there, I can sift the soil out and get smaller rocks if I want to add gravel up here at any sections that may not have the natural gravel to it, which I've done in the past. And then I've also gone down there just to fill up the back of the ATV, little trailer that I pulled behind my ATV, to fill in some of the roads here and level them out, because where I put my road over here, it's kind of slopes down a little bit. So I built up a rock wall and filled that in with dirt from that lower section. Another thing too is the variation in rocks. I have anywhere from just your normal red rocks to gravel rock, and then I've also got basalt on the property. I've got a lower section with a rock garden that goes on for pretty much the well, I'd say about half of the length of the property, because my property is shaped like a piece of pie, or like a slice of pizza, and so essentially I'm up at the crust area, you know, the biggest area up here. But then it goes down and it goes down in like this point down there. So 14 acres laid out like that. It's kind of nice because I've got a little bit of a longer property and not just a square property. So I like that. And so the variation of rock helps me to do things like the rock gabion, you know, walls that are posts that I've put up here on the camper. I'm also planning to do the rock gabion walls around the entire upper section here, and it's going to take me a while to do that, but I've got the rest of my life to build this place, so I'm all good with that. And then the rocks in the lower section, those basalt rocks, I use those to build the check dams down there. And since they're right there, I just take the 4-wheeler over to my rock garden area, load the 4-wheeler up, take it back over, and just deposit all those in the area and start building up those rock dams, or rock check dams, to slow down the water. So those are the three things I wanted to mention about getting land out here. Make sure you've got an area that's naturally graveled, so you don't have to bring in a bunch of gravel, which is expensive, to do excavation work. If it's already naturally graveled, you can operate on it during the monsoon season and you're not going to get muddy. Number 2, have south-facing slopes. That way you can harvest solar, both passive solar and solar for your batteries. And then number 3, just be mindful of the price. These realtors out here are really starting to jack up the prices, but they're not getting it yet. And so if you can buy land for $1,000 an acre or less, then you'll be good to go. And I'm talking about areas in between like Flagstaff and Kingman, and then all the way down to like Prescott. Now as you get closer to the towns, the prices go up. But if you're out in the country, you know, if you see a 40-acre parcel that's going for 70 grand, that better have some cool features on it, and maybe a camper that's already there that's in good shape, maybe some water storage underneath the ground with some tanks that are buried, or septic already installed. Then you could possibly justify the price for that. But otherwise, you know, those parcels I'm seeing them put online now, and they've been listed forever for, you know, $1,000 an acre, and then we'll take them off the market, put them back on in the spring, and try to jack up the price and see if they can get it. And what they hope to do is have people from California, you know, we're kind of the first big rise in elevation from the desert out there when you drive to, east from California. And so I think they're hoping that some of those people will come out here, see the price, and go, man, that's a good deal, and just jump on it without really doing the research of comps. So anyway, that's just something I wanted to bring up for looking for land out here. I get questions every day on the channel about buying land, and just wanted to mention those couple of features. And then also, another thing too is the community well. You know, a lot of areas have community wells because the well depths out here are like 1,400 feet. That's about a $70,000 or $80,000 investment if you want to drill your own well.
But the property owners associations that are in these areas, it's mainly just to maintain the roads and also maintain the wells. And if you are going to buy land, ask to see the well. And if you have to take your own generator to the well to operate it, you guys got to think that's an extra expense, because usually those generators are anywhere from 7,500 to 10,000 watts. That's a heavy generator that you got to put on your trailer to go there and haul water back. Another option though is that a lot of these areas have water delivery services, and you can get 2,000 gallons of water delivered for like $200, which is pretty cheap. So, all right, that's it for today. We're gonna be jamming out here. Today I'm removing cactus from the south-facing slope because Meadow likes to run out there, and what I want to do is make sure she doesn't have a bunch of spines in her feet and accidentally gets hit with them, because I've been picking out a lot of spines lately as she runs through that area. So we're gonna go over there. I'm gonna have her on leash and tied to the ATV so she can't run away like she did yesterday and not give me a heart attack. And then after that, we're just gonna chill here, get the hot tub going, and enjoy the rest of the day. So all right, everybody, that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in tomorrow's video.